So by the time that I drop this video, guys, there may be more developments and more updates in this story, but as you guys may have already heard by now, there was yet another child shot when a bullet came through her home. This was an 11-year-old girl, and she was inside of her house, okay? She was not outside. The bullet came into her home from outside. Somebody had fired the shots from outside and hit her in the head. She was transported to Comer Children's Hospital in critical condition. It was a headshot. The family said they just enjoyed the afternoon together before a bullet came through the window, striking the little girl. So the 16th Ward Alderman Stephanie Coleman said an innocent child in their own home, the safest place that she should be. But as you guys know, people get shot inside houses all the time. There was a girl on the west side who something like this had happened to back around the time when I was working at Marshall High School on the west side. Her name was Shamia Adams, and I believe that she had died from that. She was just sitting inside of her home, like having a sleepover with some friends. She was the same age as this girl. She was 11. Bullet came through the house, hit her. I think that was a headshot too, and killed her, like right in front of all of her friends there, her little grammar school friends who were over for that night. So, I mean, this kind of a thing in Chicago, it happens all too much. Even one time is too much, but it's quite frequent. So a woman who lives near the scene said that after the shooting, she saw her neighbors rushing to help the little girl. She said, "We just heard the gunshot. We ran to the window and ran outside. We see our neighbors putting the little girl in the car, saying that she had just got shot in the head." She said she's a little girl. She didn't deserve that. No one deserves that. So investigators were seen coming the area, going door to door, gathering evidence. The CPD police commander, her name is, I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong, but Arlesia Watson, forgive me if I'm pronouncing that name wrong, but she said her family's going through the most unimaginable thing right now. We need the support of the city. So Area 1 detectives are investigating the shooting, and a firearm was recovered at the scene. And the community activist Andrew Holmes, shout out to him, he does a lot of good work in Chicago. He says, "I spoke with the mother, I spoke with the father. They're totally upset, in shock, expecting their child to go to school tomorrow, but we need more evidence and we need more people to come forward." So anybody who knows, this person and knows what was going on over there needs to come forward, man, because, I mean, they shot a kid. And I'm showing the area where it happened over here, down by 68th Place and Damon. Okay, so somebody may know what's going on. Maybe not, but somebody may know what's going on. Anybody that has information needs to come forward and turn this individual in, because, I mean, they fired through a house and hit a little girl. I mean, I'm not saying that they did it on purpose to hit the little girl, but whoever's out there, shooting like that, the guy needs to be off the street. So please, don't follow that don't snitch code, especially when it comes to stuff like this. Okay, so then we had a police officer shot, and they actually killed the suspect who shot the police officer. This was in Grand Crossing. So a police officer was shot and a suspect was killed in exchange of gunfire Monday on the city's south side. So 4 officers conducted an investigatory stop of a single male. This is over by 73rd and Dante. And I don't know if this was, a gang member or not, so I'm not going to speak on the gang conflicts in that area. But this was in Grand Crossing, just a few blocks away from a local school. And the suspect, whose age was not immediately known, four uniformed officers, all in the same car, leapt out and began chasing the suspect. At some point, police were fired upon, and 3 officers returned fire. This is according to Superintendent Snelling. And the suspect was shot and taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center in extremely critical condition. And the individual died just after noon. So the cop was shot in the arm and is expected to be okay. And an unmarked police SUV parked sporadically on the curb outside the emergency room was wrapped in crime scene tape. So a second officer who was not shot was taken to a hospital for observation, and a firearm was recovered at the scene. And the Superintendent Snelling said something that's very true. He said there's a lack of respect for law enforcement at this time, and we need it, and we see it every single day, but there's a lack of respect right now for life in general, and that's very true, man. These kids out here, they talk about death like it's nothing. Like, they got homies that are dying left and right. They expect to die when they're young. Some of them don't, but, some of them act like they're going to live forever. But, I mean, death is just, it's like non-stopping it at all ages. I mean, me personally, I knew like maybe 5 or 6 guys that died like before they hit 21. But a lot of this stuff was not violence. Saying like there was this one kid who was a friend of our family's. He was 11 years old. I was like 12, 13. He woke up one day with a stiff neck. Went to the doctor. He had cancer in his spinal cord. Like 6 months later, he was dead. Another guy I knew got hit on a motorcycle, killed. Um, stuff like that. It's like a lot of guys just dying from random stuff. Nobody's guaranteed tomorrow, but a lot of people out there just don't have any respect for life, period, man. So the media asked multiple times why police tried to stop the suspect in the first place. But the superintendent did not answer that particular question. He said that was part of the investigation. So one neighbor told the media that over the years, families had put up privacy fences for extra protection, but that doesn't stop the shootings. So that area is a very violent area. And this, guys, like I said, I don't know if this was gang related or not. But that is a very violent at like 73rd and Dante. So one gun was recovered at the scene, and the Chicago Civilian Office of Police Accountability and CPD are investigating the incident. The officers involved will be placed on routine administrative duties for 30 days. And so Chicago police say that more than 60 cops have been shot or shot at this year. So that's quite a bit, okay, because, the year's almost over. But it's quite a frequent occurrence here, man. People blowing at the police. I always see a lot in the comment section on incidents where police are harassing people or where they've shot somebody or done something like that they never get it back. I mean, I don't know where these people are from, but here in Chicago, uh, definitely being a police officer is an extremely dangerous job. I mean, 60 is a lot, man, for cops to get blown at. We're talking about like 60 counts of attempted murder potentially against these various individuals that have done this. So, anyways, man, rest in peace to whoever got killed. But and get well some of the officers. There's your boy Chicago News. I'm out.